tornadoes, sleet, volcanoes.
Yeah, but you did opt in for the excitement package. So far on our road trip to Alaska, we have made it from our home in Virginia Beach to Peoria, Illinois.
Welcome to Iowa. Freedom to flourish. I like it.
Traveling across Interstate 80 at least once requires a stop to the world's largest truck stop. It was interesting, with everything you never really needed to buy, and a lot of people and mediocre food. We decided to move on to find something with a little bit more local flavor. We pulled up off the interstate and headed to West Liberty, Iowa. Artie's Sunnyside Cafe. So we just finished lunch at Artie's.
Sunnyside Cafe.
The Artie's Sunnyside Cafe in West Liberty, Iowa. And it's off of the interstate by a few miles. And the reason we found it is because Miriam is an excellent navigator. She keeps, not only she keep me on track, but if we had stayed on 80 and if it was up to me, we would be at a rest stop, a truck stop with fast
salad
and fast food. We found a little local restaurant, fresh food, homemade.
Number 3 in the state for burgers. You had a burger.
I had a burger.
And, it was really good. And a nice server.
We again pulled off the interstate and headed over to a little town named Pisgah, Iowa. Population 249. Why? And what does this have to do with rubber ducks and Jeeps? In the 1970s, four-wheel drive Jeeps, CB radios, and 18-wheeler truck drivers were all part of the culture of the time. And if you're not familiar with CB radios, also known as citizen band, each operator typically had a nickname referred to as handles. Then this guy named Bill Fries, who was in advertising and needed to produce a TV commercial for a regional bread company named the Old Home Bread Company. Then he created a character named W McCall, a truck driver. He wrote the lyrics and did the voice work for the albums. A guy named Chip Davis wrote and composed the music. Chip Davis went on to create Mannheim Steamroller. Bill used the area he grew up in as the backdrop for this fictional truck driver. The spots were so popular they evolved into country music songs. The first one, named The Old Home Fill Up and Keep On Trucking Cafe, which is based on a real location in Pisgah, Iowa, our destination. The most famous of all his songs was the one named Convoy. W McCall released several albums throughout his career, all about trucks, travel, CB radios, and Jeeps. Oh, his CB radio handle? He was the Rubber Duck. We overnighted in the city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sioux Falls is famous for a set of waterfalls right in the middle of downtown. Had it not been a cold and rainy day, we would have spent more time and shot more video. But on to Fargo. Oh, good morning. We have overnighted in Fargo, North Dakota. We're staying at a very nice hotel here in Fargo before we head over to Minot today. And the hotel room has one interesting characteristic that didn't integrate with us too well. It's considered, I guess what you would call a smart room. Things happen automatically whether you want them to or not. One of the things that happens is if you walk into the bathroom, the vent comes on automatically. It's a motion sensor, and it makes a little bit of a noise. And it stays on for 15 minutes before it cycles off again. Not a problem during the daytime, but if you happen to get up at nighttime to take care of things, well, it turns the vent fan on in the bathroom really close to the bedroom. We were concerned it's going to keep us awake. There's no way to deactivate it. I went to my little travel first aid kit in my bag that goes to the hotel rooms. I got a piece of medical tape and a piece of scrap paper. And I covered up the motion sensor. Peace and quiet. May 22nd, Minot, North Dakota. For the first day in 4 days, the sun's out. Blue sky. So it's our 0 day. Getting caught up, doing some laundry, tidying up the rig, kind of reorganizing things so we can find stuff. We've got a pack of peanut M&Ms that has gone missing, and we're gonna find it.
I found them.
You found them? I'll take those.
Dope, dope, dope. In the glove box.
And the glove box.
Emergency purposes.
When I was a young lad in the Air Force many years ago, stationed at Langley Air Force Base in Hampton, Virginia, there used to be this ongoing joke that if you misbehaved or you got in trouble somehow, you'd be sent to Minot Air Force Base. This area does host a very large and important Air Force base. And so we were threatened to be sent here. And the response was, why not Minot? And
Ta-da!
apparently we're not the only ones who heard of that.
It occurred to me that this is day 10 of our trip, so it seemed like a good benchmark to kind of stop and just think of how are things going, impressions, things we need to do better, but don't overthink it. You've got 30 seconds. Go.
We've covered 2,400 miles. I lost count of the number of states. We are completing section 1 of the trip. Tomorrow we go across the border into Canada. Things that I remember the most are 3 days of torrential rain, tornadoes,
Cold.
and cold weather.
We've already had 3 seasons in 10 days.
Yep.
You know, I was worried that maybe I was overpacking, but not so much.
You would think we're going to Alaska or something.
Man, this country is huge. The Dakotas are huge.
The burning question that people want to know is, what'd you do to your foot?
Oh, that. I somehow developed tendinitis in my arch of my left foot, and so I'm kind of gimpy. The good news is I was able to see a podiatrist before we left, and he gave me, rather than that big clunky boot that was throwing my spine all out of whack, he gave me an ankle brace that fits inside my regular shoes. So that seems to be helping, that and ice and just trying to baby it. But I do regret that we're not able to walk more.
So tomorrow we cross our fingers, hop across the border to visit our neighbors to the north, where we spend the next 9 days before we even get to the Alaskan Highway.
Yeah.
And then the Alaskan Highway.
I am excited to be back in Canada.
Well, good morning from Minot, North Dakota.
Yep.
All that with only half a cup of coffee. So, where are we going today, Miriam?
Oh, we're crossing the border.
That's right.
To Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Yes.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Moving to the border.
Yeah, day 11. Excited to finally be crossing into Canada.
Yeah. I think we're almost halfway to Fairbanks, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Don, I'm still thinking about our dinner last night. Oh my gosh.
Okay, she's bragging. She picked a nice restaurant in Old Town Minot and a little pub environment. And we had pub fare, but it was good.
Oh my gosh, it was. I don't normally get fries, but it was like poutine but without the gravy. Instead they use pesto, and I think that that's my new thing. I may be 20 pounds heavier by the time we get home.
So we are about 200 yards from the Canadian-US border, and the rules for what you can take into Canada varies depending on which website you go to and the hour of the day, apparently. So we know the basics, but some of the stuff we're not really sure about. Like, we have leftovers from dinner last night, which is going to be our lunch. So we're having lunch at 9:45 a.m. just so we can eat up the leftovers, so we can honestly say when we go to the border we have no fresh food with us whatsoever. And so it's onion rings for a late breakfast.
Well, and chicken wings.
And chicken wings.
You have your passport?
Passport's right here. All right, lunch is finished. Trash is disposed of.
Here comes a truck.
I'm not pulling out in front of the humongous truck with the very large piece of earth moving equipment on it.
Here comes another one.
We'll wait for him too.
25 meters. Stop.
What is your name?
John and Miriam.
What is your quest?
We seek to drive the Alaskan Highway to Alaska.
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Well, the airspeed velocity of the swallow depends on whether it's a European swallow or an African swallow and the density altitude. Typically about 12 knots for the European and about 14 knots for the African swallow.
Great, off you go.
How do you know all that about the swallow, John?
As a professional flight instructor, you have to know these things, you know? Miriam!
Oh, goodness. Saskatchewan.
I got the camera facing the other way. Miriam, we're in Saskatchewan, Canada.
Woohoo! It's exciting. We made it.
Border crossing was
Uneventful.
uneventful. Basically, why are you here?
Do you know where you're going?
You know, the normal questions, how much alcohol, how much tobacco,
We have cannabis.
do we have cannabis? Like, look at
You didn't ask about food, fresh food.
No.
That chicken for nothing.
Well, I do know, but it's in the prohibited list. So he asked about prohibited items. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more of our travel-related content, just check out the rest of our channel. And don't forget to subscribe.